Welcome back to Investing with Confidence. As always, I am your host, Joshua David, talking about the do's and the don'ts of the financial markets, how to understand and trade like the institutions. They plan their trades, they know where they're going to get in, where they're going to get out. So basically, they're buying low and selling high properly. So it's important for us as regular people to understand how they're doing that, where they're doing that, to trade like them. We don't want to trade against the big banks institutions. We would just want to trade like them. If you happen to miss 2 tickets for the investing class, call 952-814-4410. When you call in right now, you're going to receive that free cryptocurrency course. Cover some topics like the history of cryptocurrency, understanding blockchain technology, but also 5 steps to using cryptocurrency. And Al, we've been talking about the institutions, how they're planning trades, how they're getting in and out of trades, and how we want to do the same as them. But you have to have the confidence when making those decisions, because you need to follow a plan that helps build that confidence, and then you just have to click a button, because we know
Right.
that clicking on the platform that you place your trades on does all the work for you.
Right.
Now, I want to ask you a couple questions about how you build that confidence. Do most people that, I guess, when we're helping people get into the markets, do you do you tell people, let's put all your money in the markets, or do we train to take pieces in smaller amounts of capital to invest with and protect a lot of it?
Yeah, we teach you to have a little bit of patience about how you address the market, and you start very small. And what we would tell people is you never take a large amount of money. Don't take all of your money when you're just starting out, and try to control it yourself. This is a process. It's a process that takes time to understand, the proper entry point to make for any trade or investment that you're doing, and the proper exit. Those are the two things that are really components of the strategy that we teach our students. But confidence comes when you know what works and when it works and why things don't work. And that's just it's a combination of knowledge, but it's also the building of the skills to use that knowledge, and then having the proper tools and the resources and the proper assets to use. So regardless of what's happening in the market, there's always going to be an opportunity that you can take advantage of.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, when they get into the markets, they turn to YouTube or books, or they get help from their buddy at the hardware store, right? And is that the best place to find information? Maybe that's the reason why most people don't have confidence, because they're getting so many conflicting
Yes.
answers and advice, right?
Well, think about it. Go to the library or to Barnes and Noble and look at all of the books that are on different subjects, different ways of approaching the market. There's so many of them that it's not possible for you to learn all of them. And even if you try to learn 3 or 4, you're going to get so confused you don't do anything. And you're right. A lot of people are using social media right now to get their investment advice. A lot of the new investors, and since the stimulus money has been, entering into the economy, a lot of that money has gone into the market by young people that maybe haven't been in the market before. They're using social media. They're going with advice that their friends give them. And in an up market like we've been having, to be honest with you, almost everything should be working. But the market doesn't always go up. And one of the things that helps you to develop that confidence we're talking about is knowing how to do this in a non-directional way. In other words, you don't have to choose just one direction, and that's the only opportunity that you have. The market goes 3 different directions: up, down, sideways. Most of you, if you're using an advisor, you've done this on your own, you're in a one direction, which is up direction type of investment or portfolio, and you have to rely on the market going up for any kind of a profit to be realized. Well, the market goes down, it goes sideways, and there are great opportunities for us to use in those different directions. The institutions are doing it. That's one of the reasons there is such a big difference.
Yep.
But what they're putting most of their clients into, most are in mutual funds. So most of you listening, probably that is your biggest holding, is a mutual fund. Is that what the hedge fund managers use, or the smart money, the big traders? Absolutely not. They may be involved with individual stocks, but they also are involved with other assets. There are, we call them leveraged assets. There's the futures market, the foreign exchange market, the options market. These are things that they're using on a regular basis. A trader for one of these major firms doesn't come in one day, like the first day on the job, put together a portfolio, and then not do anything for 20 or 30 years which is basically what you're told to do.
Yeah.
They're active on a daily basis.
They're
But
doing what they, do as I say, not as I do.
no, that's exactly right,
Yeah.
because what they're saying isn't necessarily what they're doing.
Yeah.
So that's part of what we do, is help you identify what they're doing and what they're going to do actually before they do it, which is timing.
Yeah, and a lot of people, we're seeing more and more people want to wrap their arms around their money and gain some financial literacy, but they're sometimes going to the wrong places for that.
Right.
We mentioned the YouTube, books, the hardware store, the family gathering, and where did they get the education, right? So it's important to understand where to get your proper education from people that have been in the markets for many, many years. I mean, our sponsor, Online Trading Academy, 60-something instructors now. A lot of those people have came from the floors of the exchange, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, New York Stock Exchange, the Chicago Board of Options.
Right.
They were facilitating order flow. So that's who teaches a lot of the stuff at Online Trading Academy, the sponsor of Investing with Confidence. So if you want to learn more about how to wrap your arms around your money, how to learn the skills and techniques or build financial confidence, Al teaches investing classes right here in Bloomington, gets into how to manage risk and navigate these volatile markets. Some of those common mistakes that novice investors make and how to minimize them. But I think the most important thing, you kind of hit the nail on the head right at the end there, how to time the market by letting price come to you. Call 952-814-4410. That's 952-814-4410 for 2 tickets. I'm also going to give away the Cryptocurrency Foundations course. There's some topics on cryptocurrency in there. It's a hot topic right now. The rise of decentralized finance, transacting with cryptocurrency, but also 5 steps to using cryptocurrency. Now, you mentioned something about the markets. Right now they're really at all-time highs right now. And is now really the best time to get into a buy and hold strategy, because that's what a lot of people, that is their strategy. You talk to anybody on the street, hey, how do you invest? Oh, I'm a buy and hold investor, right? So think about it right now. If right now the markets are at all-time highs and think of it this way, the price is right? What's that game where they had that guy climbing up the mountain and
the game that you
he's yodeling up there, and then he goes up to the top mountain and he falls through, falls over, right? Is this the top of the market? We don't know, but we are at all-time highs. So you need a strategy for both market conditions, up and down, but also shorter-term strategies, because even though right now most people should be the most wealthy they've ever done, have ever been, they still need to catch up. So how do you help people catch up with their investments, even though markets are at all-time highs?
Well, you catch up is one thing, but protecting is the other thing. If you have had some great returns, make sure that stays with you. The bottom line is not how much you make, it's how much you keep, how much is left in your wallet after you go through some of the losses out there. And you talk about the market being high. It is high. It's high. It's more overvalued than it ever has been. The S&P 500 has had over 50 record closes this year. That's only happened 7 times in history.
Crazy.
And almost every time it was preceded either by a loss or a very minimal uptick in the market. So, people have gotten used to these big returns. That is not normal. That's abnormal. A big part of it is all of the liquidity that the Fed has pumped into the market, the low interest rates, which has allowed companies to borrow and buy back their own stock, a number of things that have caused the market to go up. So you should have been doing well. But what's going to happen if we go back to a more normal market? Can you rely on the things that maybe helped you over the last year or so? Probably not.
Well, the thing too, Al, sorry to interrupt, but the thing too is a lot of people want to use these, even though they are at the all-time highs, they still want to do more. That people want to leave legacies for families. People want to donate to charities. So you might need to learn techniques and strategies to potentially do that, even at all-time highs.
Right. Well, and you mentioned catch up. A lot of people have not participated in these markets. A lot of people were kind of gun-shy because they lost a lot of money back in 2008 or maybe the beginning of 2020, and now they're at that point where they need to catch up. Well, when we see the opportunities that we're seeing in the markets now, that's the time to take advantage of them and take advantage not of just kind of the mediocre average returns, but utilize the tools that the big players, the institutions are using, because they're really getting maximum returns on their dollars. What we want to show you how to do, and that's where these leveraged assets come in. That's one of the ways of really having a big impact on the value of every dollar that you invest. In other words, every dollar, instead of just controlling another dollar's worth of something, what if that dollar could control 50 or 100 times that much? Those are the things that we talk about in these classes. And those are the things that the institutions are using. And if you want short term needs taken care of, if you have short term financial goals, you have to use something different than a 20, 30-year long term buy and hold strategy. You
Yep.
need something you can get into and out of now.
Yep.
Those are the things that we talk about in these classes. We introduce you to basically what the people, the smart money out there are doing, and how to follow what they're doing when they're doing it.
Yeah, and I was talking to some people this last week, and they have been done very well. They got back to where they were, and maybe a little bit higher from 2008.
Hmm.
And they're like, you know what, we can't afford for this to happen again. Right now,
Right.
we're doing the best we've ever done. I want to be able to protect what I have, keep what I have, and that was one of their big things. And here's the problem too: is the majority of our listeners have probably never experienced a down market.
That's correct.
So right now is probably the best time to prepare for that.
Yeah, and
Continue to grow while it's going up, but also utilize that in a down market. And that's some of the stuff that we're going to talk about here coming up the next couple
okay.
segments. And Al, we have a lot of people a lot of people calling in here today. Maybe it's the Labor Day and everybody's listening to the radio, but we have people calling in about this investing class to get started, to learn how to build that financial confidence. You know, if you want to be able to have the potential to leave a legacy or whatever goals that you have to start something and do something a little bit different than you may have done in the past. So callers 1 through 10, I want to invite you to an investing class that we do right here in Bloomington. They're local. They're only 2 hours. Al teaches these, gets into how to time the market by letting price come to you, but most importantly, our step-by-step rules-based strategy for trading any asset for any market. Call 952-814-4410 for 2 tickets. Also, the cryptocurrency course. I'm going to give that away. 952-814-4410. You can also text the word invest to the number 484848. You're going to receive a link back. Click the link and register for that class. When you do that, you're also going to get that crypto course. Al, what's next?
Well, I think a lot of people have a misconception about what this entails. So let's talk about how a trader or investor's day differs from yours.
A day in the life of a trader investor might be a little bit different than what most people think. Once again, 952-814-4410 for 2 tickets plus a cryptocurrency course. This is Josh and Al, Investing with Confidence. We'll be right back.